I think maybe the biggest difficulty for me is when I have a student come in who has who has really different theological understandings than I do, and trying to be there for that person. Sometimes, but it gives me an opportunity to help them try to think about things in a different way. I do try to encourage students that I tell them I want them to think about not just what they believe, but why they believe it. Not just because somebody told them that's what they're supposed to believe, no matter what they believe, and that they need to decide for themselves and be able to explain why they believe something.
Hello, this is Pastor Terry Goodman, and I want to welcome you to the Wesleyan Connection. This podcast is primarily for the clergy and laity of the Holston Annual Conference. Join with me now as I take a look around the Connection and share some of the things happening in the churches of our annual conference. Today I talk with Mary-Kay-Pope-Briggs. She is the chaplain at Emory and Henry College. Now, when you think about it, chaplain, when you think of a chaplain, you don't always have a clear idea of what that kind of role is all about. But when we talk with her, you begin to get an impression that she has a rather wide-ranging kind of ministry, a ministry to and with students, to and with faculty, to the community, college community as a whole. So she is involved in a lot of things, and the only problem is she doesn't have a congregation, so to speak, if you want to look at it in those terms. Every 4 years, her congregation is changing, at least the student part is. And it's an ongoing kind of process, I suppose, to learn to deal with the problems and the issues that these students face and guide them and provide leadership to them, spiritual leadership, for the 4 years or so that they're with you. So it sounds to me like the job of a college chaplain is a job that needs to be filled by a very special person. And I think that she just might be one of those kinds of persons. So I encourage you to sit back and listen as we engage in our conversation. I'm here today with Mary-Kay-Pope-Briggs. And we've known each other on and off now for quite a few years. What's your current title? You are the chaplain at Emory and Henry College?
That's right. I'm the chaplain at Emory and Henry.
And what does that mean?
Well, that's a really good question. People ask me that all the time, and what that means can change from day to day. But mostly what it means is that I'm the pastor for everybody at the college, students, faculty, and staff. I supervise programming primarily for the students with the help of our associate chaplain, Sharon Wright. I also get to go to a lot of committee meetings as a representative of spiritual life, and pray at a lot of public events, and pray a lot in private. And I work with students one-on-one with pastoral counseling, with vocational discernment. And then I direct the Defining Moments program, which is also a vocational discernment program, not just for Emory and Henry students, but for anybody who wants to participate, from juniors in high school to 25-year-olds.
What moment are they trying to define?
They are trying to define the moments in their lives when they have heard God's call, or where they think they might have heard God's call. So we have some people come who think maybe possibly they are hearing a call, and then we have some people who come to Defining Moments or participate in the program who are headed to seminary. So just from one end of the spectrum to the other. But the purpose of it really is to help those people get to know each other so that they will have a support group. And they also have mentors who are young clergy, so they have someone to help guide them through the process, to help them know they're not alone in it, because sometimes people have never met another young person who may be feeling a call to ministry.
How would you describe your role in comparison to the director of a Wesley Foundation?
Well, Wesley Foundations are freestanding denominational campus ministries, usually on the campus of a larger university. The ones in Holston Conference are on our state university campuses, and so they have they own their own building. They have a board of directors, and they they all work a little bit different, but the director oversees the programming there. And they work, within the larger community of the university. But I'm everybody's chaplain at Emory and Henry. And so that means I'm the chaplain of all the Christians, from the most conservative to the most progressive. I'm also the chaplain of people of faiths other than Christianity. And I'm the chaplain of people who are of no faith, the nones, N-O-N-E-S, and the others, as we call them, in addition to the faculty and the staff. So, I still do we do a lot of the same types of programming. We feed kids a lot, or students, I guess I should call them. We feed them a lot. We try to help people find a group that they fit in with the best. I think the biggest difference is that you can't ever be all things to all people, but we try to meet the needs of everybody that we can.
So what would you say your most difficult aspect of your ministry is on a college campus?
Wow, that's a good question. Difficulty. Well, I think maybe the biggest difficulty for me is when I have a student come in who has who has really different theological understandings than I do, and trying to be there for that person. Sometimes, but it gives me an opportunity to help them try to think about things in a different way. I do try to encourage students that I tell them I want them to think about not just what they believe, but why they believe it. Not just because somebody told them that's what they're supposed to believe, no matter what they believe, and that they need to, decide for themselves and be able to explain why they believe something. So that's hard. And then I think another hard thing is when, God bless them, college students make some pretty ridiculous choices sometimes. Of course, we do too, as supposed.
I've never made a ridiculous choice in my life.
As supposed grown-ups, we still do that. But when they've just made a ridiculous decision and they are trying to learn how to live with the consequences of that, and then again, even though I know that I can't be all things to all people, sometimes I really struggle with that, with the fact that I can't be that.
Well, what's the greatest reward that you find in being chaplain at a college?
Wow, how do you narrow that down? Well, I feel really called to a ministry of grace as a college chaplain, because there are so many young people who have been hurt by the church for many reasons. Or maybe they've just become de-churched because they were bored with it, or but I think what is the most rewarding is when students realize that God is bigger than the box that they have either put God in, or that God has been put into for them, and when they realize that because maybe they've been told somewhere along the way that God doesn't love them because of something they've done or who they are, and when I get to share that good news with them, that God's grace is poured out on everyone, and that God loves you, God made you, and God loves you, and that's I think that's the best time. And then on the other hand, that's the ministry part that I like, and then but the other thing that I really enjoy is getting to plan some of our bigger events. I plan MLK Day every year, and that event's grown from one day of things to almost a whole week of things, and and even though I pull my hair out during the planning, I love it. And then the defining moments, I love planning that and working with the clergy and the conference who are a part of the staff of that. And again, that's another situation where we really get to watch watch students or watch our participants, have those aha moments. So.
Two final questions.
Okay.
The first one is, what is it that burns in you, the passion within you to do the ministry that you do? I've been using the term the fire in your belly. What is that fire in your belly that makes you continue in ministry?
Well, I love Emory and Henry College for one thing, and my first visit to Emory and Henry was when I was 6 weeks old, when we took my sister to youth assembly, but I've always just loved Emory and Henry, and to be able to practice ministry in a setting that I love so much is just it's really rewarding. But again, I think to proclaim that good news of grace to people who don't feel it, who may have forgotten about it, or maybe who've never heard the story before. But I just want young people to realize that God loves them, and they don't have to have everything all figured out. And also, they're very concerned with what am I supposed to do next, whether they term it as what is God calling me to do or not, and to let them know that they don't have to have it all figured out, and that God's going to be with them through that journey, and that I'm going to be with them, and then trying to get them connected to other people who will also be with them.
Okay, and I've saved the most difficult question for last. What is your favorite dessert?
Oh, my favorite dessert. Well, I really love peanut butter a lot. And I know that's like in your life, that's like probably like bad thing, but
just because half my family's allergic to it.
Yeah, just minorly allergic to it. Majorly, I know, but I really love cookout peanut butter milkshakes.
Oh, okay.
And I also love peanut butter pie and peanut butter cookies and Reese cup anything. So
if it's got peanut butter in it, there's a good chance you're going to enjoy it.
That's right, and I do love desserts. So.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing with us this afternoon, and I hope that things go well for you at the college, and the summer months are coming on. Maybe you can have a little bit of a break and get ready for the onslaught of fall.
Well, I'll laugh as you say that because summer's really busy for us. But no, it's very different. That's what I just learned a long time ago in campus ministry. Summer is not less busy, but it's different. So it gives me a kind of a break from the routine. So.
Well, go forth and be busy, and I wish you the best, and we'll be praying for your ministry.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
This is Pastor Goodman. Thanks for listening to this edition of the Wesleyan Connection. Be sure to check back often for more podcasts.